Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special Hearthstone stream. My name is Regis, I'm a content creator. Some of you might have seen me do these card reveal streams in the past, but today we're doing something a little different and a little special. Hearthstone has never done this before. We're doing card reveals with friends. And in fact, I have a new friend here with me right now. Hey Sage.
Hi Regis, and hello to everyone watching as well. My name is Sage Georgiou, and I'm the set lead for Hearthstone's newest expansion, Cataclysm. I'm super excited because this is the first time we're doing this, getting some live reactions from streamers such as yourself. So I can't wait. I think we've got some really sweet cards to show off to y'all.
Yeah, indeed, very, very sweet cards. I got a preview, I got to see them early, but we've also invited some of my streamer friends today who have not seen the cards yet. They are coming in with no information. This is real. They've legitimately never seen them before. We're gonna get some live reactions to cards that you made, Sage. Does that make you a little nervous?
No. Like I said, I think we're showing off some really great cards. So I just hope you guys like them.
Yeah, it's nice when you can be proud of the cards. You're like, yes, I'm actually really excited for people to see these for the very first time, including viewers at home. So that said, I'm super excited to see some cards, but of course, first we have to actually introduce our friends. So first up here, a name that needs no introduction, someone that absolutely everybody in the Hearthstone world knows. It's Thijs.
Hello, friend. I'm happy to be here, and I'm very excited for the new cards. I'm just trying to wait patiently, but I hope it won't take too long anymore.
Yeah. All right, next up we have a name I've seen popping up all over the Hearthstone world lately. This is CurlyWurdy.
Hey chat, Curly here. I'm super excited to see these new cards. Thank you for having me.
Moving on to a bit of an arena specialist, it's DoseofCoffee.
Hi Regis, hi Sage, hi everyone. Really excited to be here, truthfully, and but can't wait to see these cards.
And last but not least, a name I know from the competitive Hearthstone world. Also, lots of great deck guides out there. NoHandsGamer.
Hey everyone, happy to be here, and anxious to know how wrong or right we get to how evaluate these cards. So.
Listen, I've never been wrong about a card in my life, so I think we're going to be okay. I trust all of you. Yeah, well, they didn't want me doing the actual analysis, so they made me the host. It was much safer that way. So I know you're all excited, but real quick, before we get into all the new cards, I did want to do a little bit of a recap where Sage walks us through some of the new keywords and mechanics from Hearthstone Cataclysm.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's going to be 3 main mechanics in Cataclysm. The first of which is Shatter. And Shatter is on a number of spells that have 2 distinct effects. And whenever you get a Shatter spell, it'll split into 2 halves that go to either side of your hand, each with one of those effects. If you manage to get the 2 halves adjacent to each other in your hand, they'll recombine back into the original card that has 2 effects for the price of 1. The next keyword we have is Colossal, which some of you may be familiar with from Voyage to the Sunken City. But for those who aren't, Colossal minions are legendaries that are too big for 1 card. So whenever one enters play, it will also spawn in a number of additional appendages that interact with the main body. And Colossal is obviously a returning mechanic, but that's where our third mechanic comes in, which is Herald. Whenever you Herald in one of the 6 Deathwing aligned classes, you'll summon a soldier that has the same stats and effects as your Colossal minion's appendages. After you Herald twice, those stats and effects will double for both your soldiers and your Colossal. And you can Herald 2 more times on top of that to double them again. But that's enough of me yapping about that, so I'm sure it's easier to just look at the cards, right?
Yeah, number one, I'm like beyond excited for new Colossal cards. That was one of my all-time favorite mechanics. And it was cool seeing them with like sea creatures in Sunken City, but now we get to see them in like iconic Hearthstone and Warcraft characters, which is incredible. So that said, without further ado, I think it's time to actually see a new Colossal card. So first up here for Death Knight, we have a brand new Colossal. This is Arisen Onyxia. Onyxia's back. This time 9 mana, double blood rune, a 3/6 undead dragon, Colossal +2. when your hero would lose health on your turn, gain that much max health instead. It's a pretty crazy base effect, but of course you need to see the appendages to really make sense of a Colossal. So we've also got Onyxia's Wing. This is a 1-mana 1/1 undead dragon. When summoned, get a 2-cost minion. It costs health this turn. Of course, that plays nicely with Onyxia's base effect. And then, of course, you can also Herald twice to upgrade Onyxia's Wing. And in this case, both of Onyxia's Wings here have the same effect. So hopping back over to Arisen Onyxia here and her base card, Thijs, I'm going to start with you. What do you have to say about Onyxia's return?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. I was hoping for like a Blood Decay card. And this is very a control Blood Decay card because I see already with the Herald how much health you can gain if you stack your Herald. So yeah, that's like a creature that is pretty big with a double vampiric blood kind of mechanic on it almost. So I think it is super. I'm actually very excited. I see the synergy already. I already tried to print it in my deck how I want to build it, but I think that's too early for now. But the first reaction is definitely very cool, and I'm really happy to have a Colossal spec as well because that was kind of one of my favorite mechanics as well.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to see play in Arena, Dose?
I was just about to say, I'm really excited to see the Blood runes back as well. Blood is a favorite archetype of mine as well because it has that sort of control element in Death Knight. Right now in Arena, coincidentally, we actually have the old Colossals in, so it's a perfect bridge over to these new Colossals. Like you said, it's really nice to see the old sunken creatures and then these new ones here. I love the effect on this one as well. It looks like it's a little bit of a later game card, but like I said, it comes with the control aspect of the Blood runes. I love seeing how big the swing can be. So yes, you may say this is a turn 9 card, but we're talking about heralding to upgrade the wings, and then all of a sudden, the swing you have, right? The wings, when they're summoned, they'll give you a 2-cost minion, so you're summoning the wings themselves, which could have large stats depending on how much you've heralded, but then you also get the minions with it, which I'm pretty sure you're playing that turn. You're going to have essentially some minions over and above that, and you're gaining health. So the swing that this Colossal can have is huge, and I can't wait to see the impact it has.
Yeah, speaking of...
If you stack the Herald completely, it summons 2 8-drops, correct, Sage?
That's right, yeah. So you can gain 16 health just from Onyxia and the wings.
And I wanted to ask...
Plus the 4 as well.
Yeah.
I wanted to confirm max health means it's like vampiric blood where you're gaining health and max health, or is it just the max health?
Is it like the leeches? Like how the leeches work where you
Yes.
gain the max health? Okay.
I can answer some of these questions with a gameplay video. Would you guys like to just see Onyxia in action so he can literally see this live? Let's see this here.
Learn your place.
Yeah, so as you can see, like it's a big swing turn, even with the halfway upgraded Herald. It actually does a lot. It's and it can go even further than that as we jump back into to see.
It's a lot of value. I really like Colossals because I think someone mentioned this earlier. They said they're just so cool. They're so big. It's like a shift, like you're switching the tables or whatever that saying is. I think it is gonna fit really nice, obviously, into Blood DK. It's a great control card, and I like how DK, like, they're just gaining more and more health. Like, it's kind of like a little bit similar to Warrior, like how they gain armor, but instead it's health. And I think honestly, health might be a little bit better. So, yeah.
Yeah, my ultimate Hearthstone fantasy is just having as much life as possible. So I'm all in. I'm all in on Arisen Onyxia. So that said, the story of Colossals is not complete this set without the Heralds. So I thought we would take a look at our first of the Herald cards for Death Knight. This is Obsessive Technician, a 4-mana card, also double blood rune. It's a 2/5 with Lifesteal, Battlecry, Herald, Onyxia. And for these Herald cards, they are also going to summon that Soldier of Onyxia as a stand-in for one of Onyxia's appendages. That Soldier, again, is a 1-mana 1/1 undead dragon with that same effect. When summoned, get a 2-cost minion. It costs health this turn. And then again, Herald twice to start upgrading it. So I have to ask, No Hands, do you think this is going to be competitive parts of the Onyxia package?
I mean, just this card alone is a 4-mana 2/5 with Lifesteal, a 1/1, and a 2 random 2-drop at its weakest. On top of that, right now Death Knight is incredibly corpse-based, so you're getting 3 corpses for 1 card, which matters. And a 4-mana 2/5 with Lifesteal isn't like a threat, but it's really annoying where you're like, oh, I want to go face, but they're just gonna heal, and then maybe all of a sudden I pull off I play the least location buff or make a 5/5 copy of it. So it's one of those cards that looks innocent until it's not. So
yeah, I can totally see where No Hands is going with this. Like, at first you're like, oh, it's just a 4-mana 2/5, but it does have that pesky lifesteal, so if you ignore it, they're just gonna keep healing for 2. So it is something you kind of gotta get rid of, and everyone does run Elise, so having a 5/5 copy of this, I don't know.
It looks really good on turn 5 as well, because you can combine it with the Soldier of Onyxia. It costs you 2 lives, but you gain it very likely back with the 2 lifesteal. At least it requires 1 trade, so just on average on turn 5, this is putting you, like with an extra 2/2 and an extra 1/1 on board. I think that's already a very good board play.
Is it my understanding? So, the Herald card, it goes in your hand, the 1/1, it doesn't go onto the board?
It goes on the board.
Okay.
Wait, really? Oh.
So,
It goes on the
so it
board.
wouldn't be a 5-mana play like Thijs said, it would be just 4 mana. Is that-
Okay.
Yeah.
4 mana straight up.
On 4, you're getting the 2/5, the 1/1, and then you'll get the 2-cost minion in your hand.
Okay.
And then the second time you play this, it will be an upgraded soldier.
That will be the
Yeah, it
third
should-
time. It upgrades every 2 heralds.
So then the third time you play
After
will
the
be
second
upgraded.
Herald. Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be a 2/2 soldier at that stage,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we're gonna need a lot of cards that say Herald on them, because we need to stack up the heralding, right?
Really only need
Exactly.
4, right? Two of this and 2 of that, and then your Colossus is ready to
You're
go.
at max.
I mean,
Yeah,
this one is
okay.
definitely a must. This card is very good for itself already, so you definitely include this one.
Yeah.
It's
I
something
think
I've
there's
always
something-
loved in Hearthstone, honestly. The idea that you're sort of building something in the background, and when you see this already, like everyone said, it's already strong as is because you've got the 3 corpses, the 3 separate minions, the lifesteal, but you also know that they're 1 away or even closer to a bigger swing with Onyxia, right? So you know that when they play Onyxia, your opponent or you, whoever, right, is playing it, you're going to have a much bigger max health swing. So although this has lifesteal, you're also 1 step closer to that big board swing, big life swing turn, you know?
I think there are going to be some interesting moments where this is going to give you an 8-cost minion because you're playing it late in the game or whatever, but you're not sure you can risk playing the 8-cost because you don't want to take 8. You're like, can I play the Ragnaros or do I have to save my health? And you have these really high debate moments, which are going to be really fun. So that said, let's go. We've got another Herald card to see actually for Death Knight. This is a new spell, Experimental Animation, 6 mana, again, double blood. Shadow spell. This one will Herald Onyxia and deal 4 damage to all enemy minions. Again, that Herald is going to summon you another soldier
That's
of
so
Onyxia.
good. I love it. I'm honestly super excited for this. I get kind of tired and sometimes even a little bit confused playing like Corpse Explosion or some of the other like removals that have like conditions to meet. So this is kind of nice because it's like a 6 mana spell and it just takes care of everything. It reminds me a little bit about like Flame Strike, like 7 mana. It used to deal 4, but now Flame Strike deals 5. So this is like a 6 mana shadow spell. It's kind of crazy that it has a class attached to it. So I see this working with like, I don't know if you wanted to put like buttons in your deck and you wanted to like get it out of your deck. deck. But it also heralds and it deals 4 to all enemy minions. Read that, guys. It's not just like all minions. It does not hurt your board. It's just enemy minions. So that's really good. I'm excited for this card.
Yeah, I think right now the Blob of Tar seems to be ever in the meta, and a lot of times you're like, well, I don't want to go Corpse Explosion and destroy my own board, but how do I get through all these blobs? Well, here you go. So.
Solution.
Yeah, the strength of this card is also because you have a quite proactive board with the other Herald. This one is just very focused on enemy minions, so I think that is where the strong part of the card is.
It's helping you get to the late game again for Onyxia. Very much seeing a control DK package sort of piece together here.
It's definitely a swing because you play it on 6, you still get the Soldier of Onyxia, and you can then play another, if it's a 2 cost, 4 cost, or 8 cost, but it swings. So it's like you are behind and you not only remove it, but you also kind of swing a little bit ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. If you want to see that swing, we've actually got some gameplay here for the experimental animation. Let's hop into a video clip.
I'm so excited to see how they turn the tables.
Cooking up something.
We're actually getting 2 for 1 here.
Yeah, we get to see the technician. Okay. Yeah, that's great. That's really great.
Your turn.
Yeah, and you might as well play your extra minions too, because that's so much tempo. That's so good. I love it.
Yeah. Did you guys notice a little sneaky leak there in the video clip? I don't know if anybody spotted a little preview
that
of a
Druid card. I don't know. That was a sneaky one.
A little sneaky Druid card.
But I couldn't read it full, so.
Oh, I didn't recognize it. I was like, for a second, I was like, what's that? But I was like, oh, it's probably. I don't know.
I think we'll save that for a future reveal. I think that might belong to Fino. I don't want to spoil him too much, but anybody who pauses the stream might get a nice little bonus. So that said, that's the Colossus and Herald package for Death Knight. We saw some pretty cool stuff there, but we've actually got some other Death Knight cards here. Another little package of cards. They're gonna synergize with each other. So kicking it off up first here is a new weapon called Command Claw. This is 2 mana, a single unholy rune. It is a 2 attack, 2 durability weapon, and after your hero attacks, give a random friendly minion +2 attack. Now, there are going to be some cards that do synergize with this. Keep that in mind as we go, but some quick initial thoughts here. DoseofCoffee, do you have any take on this one?
It honestly reminds me of some Hunter weapons that I remember from the past, but it just looks like a solid weapon that you'd be happy to draft here and there in Arena I'm speaking about, so I can't speak too much for Standard. But yeah, I can see it. And the one thing that I am thinking about right now is the previous cards we saw were actually double blood, so it doesn't exclude a card like this from being put in. You could maybe sort of work a card like this in, especially again thinking about Arena from my end, to sort of have a bit more of an aggressive earlier part of the game before you have that sort of swing into the control aspect of a game is what I would think.
Yeah, any other thoughts from our friends here?
Yeah, I think it's a card that's going to be... sorry, Thijs. I think it's a card that's going to be great for Standard and Arena, just because, like Dose said, it's just a solid weapon.
Yeah, I can see it working with Rush. I can see it working with Charge. I think that's the strongest because sometimes you're off board, you play a Rush minion, and DK has a lot, or even your hero power. So it has synergy already just with that end as well.
Yeah, I think the hero power is like sneaky good with this, just so you have something to work with basically always. Now on that note, our next card, you're going to detect a little bit of a theme here, so keep it in mind as we look at the Gruesome Nightmare. This is a 3 mana 3/3 beast, Battle Cry. Give a minion in your hand or battlefield attack equal to this minion's attack. No hands. What do you
random?
think about this one?
Well, so is that you get to choose which one?
You do get to choose. This is a card using the new hand targeting technology that we finally have. So
I
yes,
love
And targeting.
you'll be able to pick exactly which minion you want to buff in your hand.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
what's nice about this is 9 times out of 10 you're going to be buffing the minion on the board, right? Because that's immediate impact. But what's hard about some cards that are like buff on board cards is when you don't have a minion on board, and then you're just kind of in no man's land. But now you have that insurance policy of, oh, I'll just put it on for example, the 5 mana 4/3 lifesteal that costs 5 corpses. I put it on that. My opponent lulled into a false sense of security. Oh, they have no board. Bam, 8/7 lifesteal minion or 7/6 lifesteal minion. Complete board swing. So I think this power card is not only just good for the minion on board, but it's flexible, and flexibility matters so much in Hearthstone. So
I love
Exactly
that it's
that.
flexible. I think it would be if it was an undead. How would you guys feel about it? Because I was thinking at first when I read this effect, I was thinking like, oh, hand buff DK is so back, baby. Like we buff this guy up, and then we can like give it stats to anything in your hand or the battlefield. And then I read, oh, it's a beast, and I was like, okay, like Sage knows, okay.
I guess the first one of these could buff another one in your hand, right? And then you could stack them up as well. So
yeah.
create like a nice little chain effect here with the gruesome nightmares.
that.
Now that's it. All this is going to come together here on this third and final card we're going to look at today for Death Knight. This is the Chromatic Broodmother. 4 mana. This is a Frost Unholy Rune. It's a 2/5 undead dragon. Undead. With Rush, and whenever this attacks, refresh mana crystals equal to this minion's attack. Thijs, that sounds like a pretty good buff target, doesn't it?
I mean, I think this is the first time we're getting real mana cheat in DK, and well, mana cheat can go very, very strong. And yeah, I mean, now with the last card we see, you play that on 3, you play this on 4 as a follow-up. You refresh the full mana count. I mean, yeah, this card I definitely think is gonna see play. The only thing I see, it's a Frost and an Unholy, so it doesn't fit in the first cards with the Colossal we saw, but I think in Unholy this has a lot of synergy.
We always know mana cheat is something in Hearthstone, but something that I'm really excited about from the other cards is that hand targeting thing. I really, really, really love that. So in Arena, something like that is maybe a little more exciting as well, because like No Hands was saying, you typically want to buff something on board because of the initiative it gives you. But sometimes either you don't have something on board or you want to build specific synergies. This card is a specific example. Setting up a swing turn may be something that you're interested in. So you may, even if you have something on board, you'd say, oh, let me specifically choose, because that's something interesting, right? The Chromatic Broodmother in hand, and then knowing that next turn or whenever you're going to have a much bigger swing where this is basically going to be potentially a free minion or even gain you mana over and above that, right?
Yeah, I gotta say, Sage, designing cards is really difficult. And I like how you linked these cards all together. Like the previous card, you can choose to buff this, and when you buff this, it has Rush. So that gives you a chance to like catch up. Like maybe you're a little bit behind, maybe they have 2 minions on board and you have nothing. Now here you have a buffed minion with Rush that also refreshes mana crystals. Like Warrior got ramped with New Heights. Like it's about time DK saw a little bit of mana cheat too, and I love this card because it's so it offers so much utility.
Thank you. Yes, I definitely designed all of these cards by myself. It was no team effort there. But we've seen some.
Great job.
Thank you. We've seen some refreshing before in Death Knight. It's mostly been tied to Frost, and so that's where the Frost rune comes in here. But yeah, there's a bit of an attack sub-theme here for Death Knight. There may or may not be more cards as well that we are not seeing today, but hopefully it should come together pretty well and be pretty flexible, all things considered. Like the Command Claw on its own is just like a pretty good card with your hero power. So yeah, I'm excited to see where those end up landing in terms of what decks they go in.
Yeah, we did just see Imbue for Death Knight 2, don't forget, which can buff the attack of Undead, I believe. So maybe Imbue makes a bit of a comeback. So that said, let's go ahead and take a pause on Death Knight. We're actually going to move into our next class. There's going to be more Death Knight cards later down the road. That's not all the Death Knight cards in this set. Stay tuned for a future stream on Twitch and YouTube towards the end of the reveal season for the remainder of the Death Knight cards. But for now, we're going to hop into Demon Hunter, and I didn't want to let anybody down, so we've got another Colossal. This is Ashara Ocean Lord in 8 mana, 8/8 Naga, Colossal +2. Your hero has Wind Fury. And then the tentacles for Ashara, her appendages read, when summoned, give your hero +1 attack. Those are 1 mana 2/1s. And of course, again, Herald twice to upgrade those. So, no hands. What do you think about Ashara Ocean Lord here?
I mean, I already don't like it because it's coming after me. That being said, I have my friend Bulwark to stop that so if I can see it coming. But what do you think immediately if you get it upgraded? 4 attack, you get a lifesteal weapon. It's not quite, it's 16 damage, fully upgraded. So if you are controlling the board, you could definitely play around it. But I think what's scary about these cards, the cards that do more things at more than one thing at once, it develops a powerful board while bursting down or clearing a big minion. Cards like that, and has the threat. And theoretically, you're probably hitting face with your previous heralds. So usually your opponent's not going to be in a comfortable 40, 30 life. They're probably going to be at 20 or 15. So that constant feeling that you're getting attacked in multiple ways is going to be really, really hard to deal with for other classes for sure.
Yeah, this looks like a really aggressive card, honestly. Like you said, many threats at once, and you have the threat of potentially ending the game with the Wind Fury, clearing a bunch of minions. It's just, these Colossus look like big swing turns, and this one really speaks to an aggressive Demon Hunter to me personally.
Yeah, and if you already have a weapon set up, it's not just 16 damage, it can be either easily 20 or
That's
24 with the new legendary that gives 3 attack as well in 3 turns in a row. So it can easily go to 24, 30 damage, this card, if you set it up in a control matchup. So I think this is an incredibly strong card.
And I'd say control DKs. Start heralding and get your health up.
Great. This is the kind of card that lets me compete with Thijs. This is the only way I can beat Thijs is this card right here. I need a lot of help. This is it. So, okay, Colossals, they have heralds. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first herald here for Death Knight. This is Armored Bloodletter, a 3 mana 3/1 Naga with Rush and Battle Cry. Herald Ashara, and then of course when we look at the Soldier of Ashara, that's gonna be a stand-in here for the appendages of Ashara. It's a 1 mana 2/1 Naga. When summoned, give your hero +1 attack. Again, Herald twice to upgrade. So looking at this Armored Bloodletter, Curly, do you think this one's gonna see some play?
I like it. I think when you herald, you get the appendage on the board. It summons the soldier on the board, sorry. So when that soldier is summoned, you get +1 attack. So you're already getting the Demon Hunter hero power with it, right? You don't, technically this is a 2 mana 3/1 with Rush.
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it, actually. I keep forgetting sometimes to think about the fact that the Herald comes with the soldier, and I have to look at the card a little bit differently. So it's not just a 2 mana 3/1 rush because of the hero power, but you're also getting the 2/1 or more minion. So it lets you sort of ping off or clear off a little bit of a minion while summoning a small thing and also using your face to control the board. It looks to me like it's just letting you sort of pace the board, I call it, until you get that bigger and bigger Colossal setup.
Yeah, and even if you just, this 1 mana soldier can already be stacked, so it can be a 1 mana 4/2, maybe even in some rare cases a 1 mana 8/4. That's not just a little minion you can ignore for it.
Yeah, Sage, I'm curious. Can you give us any insights into like the design process behind the soldiers and why you wanted to include that with Herald as opposed to just upgrading the Colossus, but kind of some stuff along the way?
Yeah, so it's no secret that Herald is somewhat similar to like Invoke for Galakrond back in the day. And with Invoke, one thing that we were aware of, it wasn't necessarily a problem, but you'd always get the same output every time you invoked. It was just the hero power of Galakrond. And then we also made a few cards that cared about how many times you've invoked. So like if you've invoked twice, they'd get some big payoff. And we wanted to be a little bit more efficient with just the overall Herald package. And so that led to summoning the appendages of your Colossal on the board and upgrading them. So you're not just upgrading one card in the future, you're also making every Herald card better by playing more of them. So you don't have to worry as much about draw order in terms of like, I got the thing that cares about heralding twice, but not, any of the Herald cards. So that was really why we ended up going with this. And a little bit as well on the Herald cards themselves, because every Herald card is sort of referencing another token. You'll see that a lot of them are very simple, like this just being Rush, or the Death Knight one just having Lifesteal. We want them to still be good and generally pretty efficient, but we don't want them to be, have their own effects and then also summon a token that has several lines of text.
Yeah, that'd be too much. Like, it's good as it is. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
May I ask how many Herald cards does every class get? Every class gets 2, and then there's also neutrals, or?
Yes, that's right. Every class will have 2. And then we saw the neutral one, Envoy of the End. And there may also be another one that is coming. We will have to see. But yeah, it's generally one less, because they do upgrade one less than something like Invoke that had 2 neutrals. So it should still be a good amount, but you might need to put in more like card draw if you really want to see the Herald cards as fast as possible.
Thijs is trying to get some spoilers out of you. He wants to...
Yes, it worked. I got one. Thank you.
I kind of have a little question too. Are there any cards, are there going to be any cards that maybe like draw Herald cards out of your deck?
I don't know.
He's not falling for the second one.
No more spoilers. No more spoilers.
Stop. Okay.
Something
Hey.
to note is these payoffs of Herald cards, the Colossus, are 8, 9 mana cards. So you have a lot of time. You don't need to be cycling through. You can take your time, control the board. It's no rush. Why try to end the game early? So
You're right, but we cannot take our time.
In its own class as well.
We can't take our time on seeing another card. The people are waiting, guys. I gotta move on to the next card. There's one more Herald card here for Demon Hunter. It is Fel Infusion, a 2-mana Fel spell. Herald Ashara. Your hero has Lifesteal this turn. DoseofCoffee. Is Lifesteal any good in Arena? I'm actually legitimately curious. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. So I heard people talk about it before for Standard, that you could set up some maybe lifesteal weapons or something that helps you with the swing until you're getting to the Colossal again. A lot of these Herald cards, for me personally, a little bit more so in Demon Hunter from what we're seeing, it seems to be about playing that big Colossal swing turn a little bit more than what we've seen so far, at least for me personally. The lifesteal is helping you swing that gap, so in Arena it very much depends on what sets we have in, as to what cards are in to support these. Obviously, we're going to see these new expansion cards, but having a card that's already part of the Herald package that gives you the lifesteal means that, for starters, just this card by itself is giving you the soldier. Again, I keep having to remind myself, gives you the soldier with the attack, so you're already being able to sort of get the swing, maybe kill something and get your life back. But this gets better as you Herald more, and also better if you have any setup, any other hero attack, any other maybe weapon setup from before. So you can plan ahead, sort of gauge your Herald and when you're going to play them, and use the Fel Infusion for the lifesteal swing to make sure you're getting to that Colossal.
something to remember is the Colossus minion for this was 8 mana. So this is very, if you're having a slower game and get the 10 mana, you can play this and then play the Colossus, get 3 Heralds for 12 attack, deal 24 and heal for 24. So it's the ultimate, swing play where your opponent thinks they've got you and they're like, I have plenty of health. All of a sudden, you have board, you have health, they have very little health. It's just a complete swing. Very exciting. So
it's really funny you say that, No Hands, because we actually have an example, I think, of exactly that. If you'd like to hop into some gameplay, he did not know that, but perfect setup, perfect accidental setup here. Let's see this combo in action. This is crazy stuff. This is a big hit.
Well, luckily the druid has a sound, otherwise he looked almost dead.
the weapon, though. The weapon.
Oh, the weapon, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
Wow. Yeah, you don't expect that. You simply just don't expect that. So that's really nice to be able to come back like that.
I didn't realize the appendages were getting twice as big. I thought the Herald effect was getting twice as big, but they're 8/4s that my brain just didn't see that.
Yeah,
so.
they stack. 2, 1, 4,
Everything,
2, 8,
and the soldiers too.
It's basically all the numbers on the cards double when you upgrade, except the cost, I guess. But yeah, it's really intimidating.
Twice. You do have to herald twice though before you see any upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing about this card that's pretty interesting actually is that it's a fel spell, and there are quite a few ways to actually target fel spells with discovers or extra draw. I think a big one that we've been playing with is Hive Map. Sometimes you just run that because the pool of fel spells isn't that big, and you hit this a decent amount of time. So just getting more heralds faster is definitely something Demon Hunter is very interested in.
And Sage, can you discover Herald cards and Colossal cards? How does that work?
You can discover them. For Herald cards specifically, it's similar to StarCraft, where if your deck started with Herald cards, then you're able to discover them, and if it didn't, then you can't discover them.
Sage, I do have another question, actually. If you're a rogue and you get a Demon Hunter, this says Herald Ashara specifically. If you had a different Colossal in hand, would this only work for Ashara, not other Colossals?
It is purely class-based. Okay. So if you're a rogue and you generate Fel Infusion here, it will switch to heralding the rogue Colossal. There's a whole hierarchy in terms of determining what you'll end up heralding. For the actual Deathwing aligned classes, it's always your Colossal. But for the non-Deathwing classes, if you manage to get one, it goes off of what the class of the card is. So if you generated this in Mage, for example, then you would start heralding Ashara.
But you have no Ashara.
But you don't have Ashara, unfortunately.
Yeah. You could generate Ashara in theory, so...
Yeah, and will it always herald one?
You can still get the soldier, so...
Yeah, will it always herald one? So let's example, for some reason you end up generating 2 Colossals somehow in the game, different class ones. Will a herald card herald both of them? Sort of, is it imbue, logically speaking, where you go up one step? Or are you always heralding one?
So your Colossals will share their heralds. So if you're a Demon Hunter, you've heralded Ajara 4 times, and then you generate Onyxia, she will also be heralded at the max already because you've heralded 4 times.
Yeah. Okay. So it's shared, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, we have some great insights here from the man behind it all. Thank you, Sage, for answering all those questions. Let's go ahead and we've got a few more Demon Hunter cards here. That was it for the kind of Colossal package, but we have some other exciting Demon Hunter cards to show you. The first of which is a big one, and I love big cards. This is Dread Leviathan, a 9-mana 9/6 beast with Taunt and Battle Cry. Choose an enemy minion to steal 3 health from 3 times. Curly, do you also enjoy giant minions like this one?
I do like giant minions, yes, especially when the stats are pretty nice too. It's a 9-mana 9/6 and it has Taunt. Choose an enemy minion. Okay, so I noticed immediately it doesn't just say choose an enemy to steal 3 health from 3 times. So I think this is a cool removal. You would have to pick, you can't pick 3 different minions though, right? It would have to be 1 minion and it steals a total of 9 health from that minion.
It is 3 separate choices.
Oh, it
Wording is a little
Oh, so it's
confusing
3.
on
You
that
could
one.
do 3 different minions.
Yes.
See,
Oh,
Okay.
that's way better.
that's
So,
huge.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I like this card.
yeah.
This is my kind of card for sure.
What happens with a card like this, where if you're stealing from a 1 health minion, do you steal 1 health or do you get 3 health in that kind of scenario?
You can't oversteal. So if you target
Okay.
a 1 health minion, it will gain 1 health.
Same as like kind of the leeches, where like that
Yeah.
that same kind of okay.
Okay.
And this gains the health itself, right? The
Yep.
card. Yeah, so you could end up with killing 3 minions, ending up with a 9-15 taunt on board as well. So quite a big swing.
Yeah, the taunt makes it at least also reliable. Like you have then a force to stop. So it looks like a very good anti-aggro card.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
If
all
you
right.
get to 9 mana.
If you get to 9 mana, I trust. I
Maybe
trust.
more
that-
mid-range actually.
Survive till 9 mana.
I think you can do it. So let's go ahead and move on to our next Demon Hunter card. I know that people are always itching to see more cards. This might help you get to 9 mana, maybe. This is Sigil of the Seas, a new 1 mana fell spell that reads at the start of your next turn, summon a 3/3 Naga with Taunt. Thijs, what do you think about the return of Sigils here?
I think that's a very good Demon Hunter card. I feel now in Demon Hunter you miss often your 1-drop. There's not much to do. You just hero power or weapon up very often, or you try to coin 2. So I think this is kind of what Demon Hunter was a little bit missing. If you are not an aggro Demon Hunter completely. So I think for 1 mana, getting a 3/3 in the early game it's very good. In the late game it's gonna fall off a little bit more. But I can see this as a very solid card for 1 mana, and you're very happy to have in your opening.
1 mana 3/3 sounds good.
Yeah. Even if you get it next turn, I still think it's really good. If I had the option to equip that 1 mana Demon Hunter weapon or hero power or play this, I think I would probably want to play this. I like the idea of sigil cards because it's kind of like you're investing into the future of the game. It's like, okay, I'm going to spend a mana here and I'm going to see my returns. Not now, but like later. And also, it kind of is nice in a way because they can't do anything because that minion, like the 3/3 Naga with Taunt, that's not even that doesn't even exist yet. So they can't like remove your minion or do anything about it. Like you get that next turn. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually a really good insight. It dodges removal, basically.
Yeah.
I think the community has historically doubted cards like these with things like Dormant and Wild Seed, and then the community's been completely wrong. These kind of effects are very strong. And I think there have been similar cards of even less power level than this. So I think this is definitely a strong, and maybe even some Fel synergy with the right deck could be there too. So there's a lot going on for this card, even though it's simple.
Yeah, no hands. I'll have you know, I've never been wrong about a card in my life. Don't lump me in. Don't lump me into
So
the
what's your
community.
opinion?
I think it's good. I like Taunt. I like 3/3. It's efficient. So I'll definitely not be wrong about our next card either. And this one is, in fact, our final card of the stream. This is Flash Flood, a 5 mana fell spell once again. This one reads, deal 5 damage to your opponent's left and rightmost minions, and then outcast, do it again. Now, Dose of Coffee, I feel like this is a good arena card, but let me know, is it good?
It looks pretty good to me. I mean, this is something where I can already picture certain people getting really annoyed at the positioning. Like, positioning is going to 100% be something. I love the do it again. Like, I actually really like that. So you're basically dealing potentially 5 and 5, and then 5 and 5 again, right, is what we're saying here. To me, this is getting very closer to a board clear, especially in arena. And I can picture many people, me included. I usually struggle a lot with positioning, especially when cards are new. I can already see chat saying things like, "Didn't position for Flash Flood."
Yeah, but then you have to
Guess
also
what
have
they
to watch
have.
out for like the previous cleave cards, you know. So it's like it kind of makes it tricky because it's just like you don't know what to expect really. But I do agree with you. I think it's a good board clear, and usually around like turn 5 or 6, like your enemy minions are probably gonna have like 5 or 6 health. So yeah, I think it will clear like 2 minions, and then if you outcast, like clear 2 more. So it's pretty much like a whole board wipe. I like it. It's cool.
I think it can also do I mean, it also kills 2 10-10s, right? Sage? Because it goes down once and you do it again. So
That's true,
it's
that's
also
true.
really good against a double 5/5 and a 10-10 board. But also, I think it's a really good card against Colossals and Herald cards. Because it kills and the token and the Colossal in a lot of cases as well. So I think that might be one of the ways to actually deal as well with the Herald and Colossal cards.
That's true, because it could deal 5 and 5 and then 10 to a middle one sort of thing, right?
2 very often the Colossal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, on that note. Go ahead.
I definitely agree with Doses that I think the players are going to really like this card and having position matter, but streamers are going to be like, I've been playing this game for 5 hours and I forgot to play around Flash Flood. So it's, I think it's good. You know, yeah.
And then you play against Imbue Rogue and you're there like, yeah, come on, why are you not playing around Flash Flood? They can generate it as well.
I love you guys expressing some frustrations here. All right, so that wraps it up for our reveals today. Of course, there are going to be some more Demon Hunter cards revealed as well down the road. But as we wrap up here, I just wanted to get a little bit of an overview from all of you, just a quick 30 seconds or a minute or so, just how you feel about the cards that you saw today. So we'll kick things off with Thijs. How you feeling about these cards?
Very excited about the Colossals in general. Onyxia I'm very hyped for. It's just very fitting. I would love to bring back a Blood Decay control style deck, and I see that as a very powerful card. So I see a lot of potential there. I also do really think the Demon Hunter has really good cards, especially with the Herald and with the Colossal. So I'm just very looking forward, and I think the power level is pretty good. So I do think almost every Colossal, might see play. Might include other classes as well. It used to be a very strong mechanic, and I do feel what I see now so far, that's the case as well here.
Yeah, agreed. Curly, how are you feeling about these?
I really like it. I think I agree with Thijs about the power level. Everything seemed fair, and I could see the groundwork for new decks. I see how everything is linking and building off of each other. I'm super excited for Herald, a whole new keyword. And Colossal comes back. I was playing this, like way back when I used to play Wild, I was playing that one Shaman Colossal deck that had like, Neptulon, right? Like Wind Fury. So I remember that, and I really like Colossal, so I'm happy and excited to see them back.
Yeah, Dose, how's this going to impact Arena?
First of all, I personally really like the Colossals. I think they're really strong and very good build-around cards. Currently, Arena has the Legendary Bucket, so Legendaries typically come with a set of cards to help you synergize, so you can build these kind of synergies for sure. For Death Knight, love seeing the Blood Runes back, and excited to build a sort of more control archetype. I think a lot of people will too. And for Demon Hunter, I think the Colossal and all the Herald cards, people will be excited for that big swing turn or big finish turn that the Colossal can do. I'd love to see a lot of the other Herald cards as well. I know we've seen Neutral and there are some potentially others, so I'd love to see how that whole package shapes out, but they look like very strong cards, all the cards, Heralds and Colossals, so excited to try them out.
Yeah, No Hands. Can you close us out here? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm definitely with Thijs that I'm looking forward to the Blood Death Knight archetype, and I'm already in my mind just thinking about the cards that are in the current set of like, how much life can I gain? There's some tricky things you could do that maybe I won't talk about today, but fun things you could do that it make me very happy. So yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about we didn't talk about with Onyxia being able to attack into stuff. It wasn't just her cards, but like we didn't even talk about attacking into an infinite attack Murazond. I think it works, maybe.
Wait a sec, infinite hell?
Just pass. Yeah, this could definitely happen. You know?
I don't know.
That's
Sage
interesting.
might have been cooking some stuff up here. I don't know. So that is going to wrap it up for us today. I hope everybody enjoyed the stream today. I want to remind everyone that the guests, our friends here, these streamers really hadn't seen anything ahead of time. I think you guys did a great job reacting live. Like, it's sometimes hard to read the card and think about it, but you guys had some great insights off the cuff, which is really kind of amazing. This is not the last of these streams you're all going to see, by the way. We're doing this 4 more times. The next Carterville stream will be hosted by Fino, and he's going to have some of his own streamer friends at that time around. So everyone should be sure to check that out. Before we go, though, Sage, did you have anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say thanks to everyone for watching. This was really fun. If you want to keep up with the reveals, you can find the schedule of events in the card library at playhearthstone.com. Or under the news section in our community blogs.
Yeah, very, very exciting stuff. I think people are going to want the Colossals. It's that's a big one. So that said, thank you, Sage, for having us today. Thank you, friends, for joining us and offering such great insights. We appreciate all your time. And thank you, viewers, for hanging out with us today. I hope you guys enjoyed the card. That's it. Thank you much, and good luck out there in the tavern.